I'm Jim Dolan, co-chair of Pride of Irons, and we're here for some more rival views. This week, back from his exile from the technical problems that plague the Southwest, it is Rob.
Hello.
You right, mate? How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad. Missed you on the last one, obviously. Good to have you back. And joining us from the away end, or actually we're away this weekend, aren't we? Joining us from the other side, anyway, we've got Sam, who is a member of Proud Lillywhites. So that's Spurs LGBT supporters group. How you doing, Sam?
Not bad, thank you. Been pretty good. Looking forward to getting back to watching my glorious team and not have nonsense on the international break.
I mean, at the moment, international break, it doesn't feel like there's a real break in football, because it's just like, since Project Restart, football has just kind of been non-stop, and the international break just feels like a natural extension of that. It almost feels a way like it's like we didn't have football for ages, and now it kind of just feels like we've got football all the time. And I think maybe part of that's to do with the fact that I'm now watching more away games than I usually would, because I'm watching all the home ones on telly because I can't go. So now I'm like, I might as well watch the away ones as well.
Do you think Men in Black had burnt out they're going to be towards the end of the season?
Look, if they genuinely want to finish it by the end of, is it mid-May?
Yeah.
There's going to be so many injuries. Who knows what's going to happen this crazy season?
Is an essential thing there, isn't it? You think about it.
Yeah, well, we'll get on to the squad shortly. So let's get stuck in. I mean, we've got the pleasantries out of the way. Now let's get on to the real matters, which is the interrogation of our opponent. Maybe starting off a bit lightly. What have you made of the start of the season so far for Spurs, Sam?
So it started off. So pre-season, I'll start with my pre-season. I was thinking we were being massively underrated. Since Jose has come in, we have been form-wise, the entire league, and everyone was putting us at 5th or 6th or 7th in some people. And I was like, Arsenal have really improved. And I was like, they haven't. And I was pretty certain that we were going to be top 4 and it'd be great. And then I watched the Everton game and I went, no, nothing has changed. We're still as bad as I thought we were going to be. God damn it. And I was so excited for it. And it was just that. And then, obviously, we had our nonsense start of the season with, you say you've watched more football. I've watched more football. I've watched football from Macedonia and, God, where else were we?
What was that, before
Romania.
restart?
No, that was when that was our Europa League qualifying. We've had 9 matches.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're in that weird European thing that we don't really talk about or know about.
Thing, and like a good thing that happens to teams that win stuff. Wait, no, I can't say that. I've watched
started
Macedonia and weird things that I can't pronounce the name of in the midweek, and we were kind of getting better, and then we had the Southampton game where Hassan Hutel decided not to change his tactics, so Kane and Son could just go mental. And then I was like, much nicer to watch and really nice to see and better, and it could see that there was definitely improvements in there. Players that from last season and new signings were really improving the squad. We ignore the nonsense handball and Eric Dyer's massive hands. And then, it's kind of gotten better and better, culminating in the great momentum of a 6-1 thrashing of Man United, which I never thought I'd see the day. And then I had this international break came, and so kind of momentum's lost. But really positive start of the season. Really, really good start of the season. I think overall, hopefully it continues. I think
there's 2 things I want to pick you up on there. So first of all, the hope that kills you, which I think we're all really familiar with, and I'm sure Rob will speak to that. The kind of not necessarily the pre-season hope, not for us this season anyway, but kind of, we might get a bit of momentum going and then we just get ahead of ourselves only to have our hopes dashed. But also the handball thing. I deny anyone else the right to complain about handball after all the shit we put up with last season. Rob, do you remember the meme going around of Antonio with giant
Absolutely, yeah. Didn't he say if he had no hands, he would have actually got a lot more goals or something?
Yeah, he's I'd be in double figures this season if I had no hands. But no, it's a wacky old season, isn't it? That so far. I mean, we did what we expected to do and lost against Newcastle, and it was the post Grady Dean Garner sale. We then put up a really good fight against Arsenal, and we're really unlucky to not come away with something. And then whacked 4 past Wolves, which absolutely no one saw coming at all, and then put 3 past Leicester. And what really fucks me off is that any other week, West Ham beating Leicester 3-0 would have been the headline. But then, so it was you guys, 6 past Man United. What was the other? There was like quite a few results that were crazy last weekend.
7-2 Villa.
That was it, beating Liverpool.
Yeah. And it's like, only Spurs with Bottle being first on match of the day. Only Spurs with Bottle being, because it was like 6-1, great match, amazing. And then, of course, match later, it becomes 7-2 nonsense relegation candidates thrashing the champions. I was like, great, we're not even first on match of the day. God's sake.
It was the longest match of the day ever.
Imagine us watching that though, getting the earlier result with Leicester and thinking, right, this is really good. Then you're like, hang on, what's going on over there? And what's going on over there? It was just pure madness. But I mean, this, for years, I think we've all complained that the football, the Premier League table has just become too predictable. It's too obvious who's going to beat who. So in a weird way, it's really good to be doing well, but also see other surprise results going around, because it means it's kind of got back to being competitive. And maybe this COVID situation has affected things in a way that football grounds have become more neutral. And it's coming more down to sort of team discipline and training methods. I don't know, it just seems like there's a new environment, a new thing to get used to. I'm loving it though.
I think the pace of football is something that's affecting a lot of teams as well. Everything's very fast. Everyone plays on the kind of high press and counter attack. And I think, that's what Liverpool kind of the kings are doing that. But I think every team's doing it now, and it's getting hard to predict who's going to kind of get the result at the end of the day.
Yeah, long may it continue. So moving along then, Sam, with my list of questions here. Always ask everyone what the thoughts of their manager are, but with your manager, it's a particularly interesting one, I guess, because I think when Mourinho first came to the UK, I think he charmed the pants off of everyone. Everyone, every neutral fan liked Mourinho. I liked him. Rob, I'm assuming you quite liked him when he first came over.
I read his book, so I was quite... Yeah,
he seemed like a really cool kind of no-nonsense talking, straight, just a cool character. And then it seemed like he left Chelsea and just decided to sabotage every job he had along the way. Like he'd go to a club, he'd isolate like the best player or the most popular player and just like completely tear the dressing room apart. And obviously then, you get to sort of Man United and it just all fell apart. So clearly that's not been the case since he's come to you guys. Clearly something has changed. Are we seeing the old Mourinho?
Oh God, me and Mourinho. It's like I've never met the guy. I don't know what he cares. I thought Pochettino should have gone post at some point in the summer since the Champions League final. The results were not there. They were papered over by the Champions League run. Champions League run was great, really amazing, really nice to be in the final. Shit final, but everything else was great for it. And even then, it was not like we smashed Ajax and Man City. We got some lucky VAR calls and other things going on there. So I was like kind of coming to terms with the fact that I thought Pochettino would go. The fact it went so quickly and it happened so quickly, and then I think I went to bed and I was like, crap, he's gone. God. And I woke up next morning and was like, yeah, by the way, now Jose Mourinho is your manager. And I was like, wait, what? Where did this come from? And I'm 90% sure Daniel Levy had the contract on his desk saved from like 5 years ago, and he was just going to drag it. Like, I've got it here, sign it, it's all good.
Just change the dates. It'll be fine.
And I was not looking forward to it because of all the Man United fallout. I enjoyed him as a pundit when he was doing his punching in between. I had enjoyed what he had said. But I thought it was just going to be negative football. Harry Kane was going to become a CDM. Heung-min Son would occasionally run very fast up a pitch on a counter-attack, and we'd have 5 people playing at the back, and it'd be really boring. We'd win 2-0, 1-0 every single time. It started out positive because we played you in our first match, I believe, and we won 3-2 with Dele Alli deciding that he can score from the touchline and kick the ball. That was a great move.
It was.
And the opening part of the season, those few matches were kind of weird, and you kind of went up and down. And sometimes I thought it was really good, and then we got hit with a massive spate of injuries of Kane, Son, Sissoko, all of them injured for various periods of time. Luis again, all of them injured for various times. So that kind of took the momentum away. Then restart happened, and we opened up with two really disappointing, which are boring matches, if I remember correctly. Everton was boring. We drew to Bournemouth. I think we beat you was it 1-0 or 2-1 with an own goal on our home match? I can't quite remember. I think post restart.
I try not to remember these things.
It just wasn't very good. And then we got spanked by Sheffield United, 3-1. I think it was the final consolation goal in the 90th minute or something. It was 3-1. And then it just flipped. There's something switched, and we just went on a really nice one near the end, which just about brought us into the weird Europa thing. We should have been Europa Group, but of course, our best friends in North London decided to win the FA Cup, so we had to do the qualifying. He's clearly changed something about the team. He's clearly changed the mentality. The Man United match shows it purely. We went down 1-0 in the first minute. Any other Spurs team I'd have expected to crumble. Pochettino wouldn't have made any changes later on. We came back within 10 seconds and smashed 2 past them. The mentality has changed there. Is he still doing some of the isolations with my favourite player, Dele? That remains to be seen, but there has clearly been an issue there. But he says it, if you watch the documentary, he calls Dele lazy from day one. He is lazy in training, and he clearly doesn't respond to that. The flip side is you look at someone like Ndombele, who had been isolated this entire last season, played a record signing and played maybe, I think, 4 full matches, and maybe 2 under Jose, has come back really strong this season, starting 4 matches in a row. Yeah, his fitness still isn't what it should be, but he's really committed himself, and clearly something with Mourinho and their conversation has changed. Mourinho has done something to say, you can do this. So is it the old Mourinho? I can't say. Is it just second season Mourinho, which clearly most people know is his better season? Possibly. Is it just luck because we've got quite good players?
What do you make of the Mourinho situation, Rob?
Pardon me?
What do you make of Mourinho now, given the ups and downs and the topsy-turvy nature of his various tenors?
I think he's got a really good squad. He's got the type of player he likes. Like in the documentary, like Sam was talking about, he actually loves Dyer. Because Dyer's a bit of a warrior, isn't he? You know, he might be the most technical player you'll ever see, but he will literally throw his body in front of anything. And I think he likes that. He likes someone who will literally put their life on the line for the club. You know, take a ball to the face. You know, where players like Dele Alli might not probably do that. And so he's got that kind of player that he likes, and he likes to kind of have that kind of control. But I just think his man management is actually quite good. What I've seen in the documentary, and I think the Spurs team are actually they've got a good bunch of lads there as well. By everything I've seen, so I think he's just he's there at the right time as well. You know, he might have gone to Manchester United. You know, it might have been the right time, but I think he's gone there. You know, he's got that experience. He knows how to deal with players. He's got some very big players and some very good players, and I think it might just be perfect time for him there. And I think it might be it just might all fit like it did at Chelsea. You know, I think by the way they're playing, it looks good. If I'm honest. I hate to say.
There's clearly more to this story, and we'll see. Like you said, it could be second season, or maybe he's found a new home. But and again, the whole COVID situation does make things a little bit weird anyway. So maybe it's a perfect storm. Who knows? Yeah. Let's get on to my favourite question, which is usually fairly friendly, but I won't ask you to pull any punches. What is the two clubs clearly have. I was going to use the term relationship, but I'm not even. We don't have a relationship. The two sets of fans don't like each other. So I usually ask, what's your view of West Ham, and I'd ask Rob the same. What's the view of Spurs? Well, I think we all know what we think of each other. Instead of asking that, maybe I'll ask you to pinpoint. What do you think it is about the two teams that stops us getting along? What is caused this hatred?
So, I mean, I can only speak. I don't think I've followed Spurs since about 2010, 2011, so I don't know the full history. But a lot of the time, it just feels like that you think you're on our level, and at some points you were, but we've clearly in the past decade like moved up a level into like European football, that magical thing, whereas you're usually scrapping your relegation battle until David Moyes comes along and tries to save you, usually to success. And I think you still think, like, occasionally you still think you're on that level, and I just like you're just not. And like, it's quite nice of you. Sometimes it's like, oh, they're trying, aren't they? And it's kind of nice in that way. But sometimes it's just like stop it. And like, once we get on to discussing the actual match of the weekend, I will say the fact, like, I don't like playing you because you always, admittedly, your players always raise their level, especially away, and you look like you turn into like the best team, and you're like, this is not the team you were playing like you played last week. Last week you lost 3-0 to Liverpool in a complete capitulation or whatever, and then it's this week you're like, right, we're clearly just going to smash Spurs and we're great. And you're like, what are you doing, West Ham? Just be like sensible.
I mean, it's an interesting perspective. I certainly would argue that we don't think we're at the same level. I think a lot of the majority of West Ham fans would look at your squad and your manager and your success, your stadium, say we'd love to be at that level. And I think we would openly admit that we're not. But what I would say is I think West Ham fans think that Spurs fans have got a bit too big for their boots and sometimes bowl about like they're something. And we like to show you that, you're only as good as your last game. I honestly don't understand the beef myself. I guess every football club needs a rival, but I don't even think we're rivals. And this is the thing, because we are competing at different ends of the pitch. There's clearly something that's just clashed between the two. I mean, Rob, you've been supporting West Ham since you were a kid, right? So much longer than me. I'm a relative newcomer in terms of like, I started following in my early 20s. So what do you think it is?
Yeah, but Jimmy, you're 50 now, so that's still quite a long time.
You fucking prick.
I don't know, but I personally, I don't dislike any club. I like football, and I like any kind of football, but I think it's a lot to do with kind of that kind of 80s kind of, football gang rivalry, like the ICF and stuff like that. I think it's a lot to do with kind of like, that off the pitch kind of mentality, having fights and stuff like that. And I think it's kind of grown into this rivalry on the pitch as well, because that kind of, you got them supporters, cheering you on to beat them, and they want that, and it becomes just a natural rivalry. But where would it be without a rivalry, though? It would just be another game.
Oh, it makes for some feisty
That's
games.
What you want, don't
sure.
You want to see some tackles flying in. You want to see, some passion, and you want to be at the end of the game to go, look, we beat you. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's kind of like a yin yang thing. I like the rivalry, but I like it without the violence. Do you know what I mean? I like it on the pitch, and I like it to stay on the pitch. And then at the end of the day, have a drink, talk about it. May get a bit heated, but that's it. And then afterwards, we're just going to get on with life. The game.
I'll tell you what kind of personifies it for me, and I've told this story plenty of times. It's no secret. My whole family supports Spurs, both sides. Mum's brothers all do. Mum's dad did, even though he was from up in Yorkshire. He was a Spurs supporter. My dad's family, he's got 3 brothers. They all support Spurs. It seems weird that I support West Ham, but I never liked football, and it was actually Rob who got me into football, and that's why I support West Ham.
Sorry.
That's all right, mate. I wouldn't change it for the world. But what personifies the rivalry for me is if we lose to Spurs, I've got nothing to say about it to Spurs fans. I've got nothing to moan about on social media. But with my family, I've got nothing to say about it, right? Because it's a game at the end of the day. But when we used to lose to Spurs, I say used to, it was before my dad passed, he would ring me up and just laugh down the phone.
I remember that.
And it's this really, you heard it, Rob, didn't you?
Yeah.
This really horrible, ugly, fake laugh. It was awful. And I'd just be like, all right, cheers, Dad, and hang up. But whenever we won, I'd never, ever do it back. Firstly, because I have, I'm a man of class, obviously, look at me. And secondly, I knew it would kill him more looking at his phone, wondering if I was going to.
Jim, can you show us what laugh you'd have done? Would have been like,
Oh, you know, my daddy had that kind of. Oh, I don't even want. It was a kind of like step-toe kind of laugh.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not even going to attempt it. So that for me is what it is. But I'm sure it's got to be a bit of both. Yeah, because my brother tells me stories about typical West Ham fans, and I say, yeah, but these are typical Spurs fans to me. And clearly, he's hearing from the worst West Ham fans. We're hearing from the worst Spurs fans, and then we're all kind of just judging each other as a collective.
I suppose it's some personal experience, isn't it? Because if I really thought about it, I'd absolutely hate Swansea because I got attacked by a Swansea fan when I went to watch.
I thought you were going to say because you got attacked by a swan.
No, I haven't. And it was wearing a
Swan
Swansea
broke
shirt.
your arm.
One in the Swansea shirt. But yeah, and so in my head, I could be like, I absolutely hate Swansea. But then I realised it was just one person. It wasn't all their fans, you know. But
I think there is something deep ingrained and dare I say slightly special about our fractured relationship. But yeah, it does make for those feisty games. So looking ahead, not quite to this weekend, but looking ahead to the end of the season, let's say, what are your expectations, Sam, for Spurs? Like, obviously you've got your hopes, but what are your expectations?
So my expectations, they haven't changed. They maybe did a bit after the Everton match, but they haven't changed. I do think we can get top four. I think we've got one of the best managers in the world, a cracking team that, especially post the transfer window, which has very few weaknesses. Is it going to win a league? I don't think so. I can't see us rivaling Liverpool or Man City. Is it better than Arsenal or United? I think so. Chelsea being the other one to fill out the top four. But I would not put it past it if we put all our efforts into the Europa. Jose loves it. He's won it with every team. I think he's managed for it. He will go and do it and win it, and that's why he's here. It's clear that Levy has invested in the team this season for a reason, either because he just backs the manager or because he thinks they were genuinely going to win something and need help to win some stuff. So my expectations are top four in Europa.
Okay.
Do you think Harry Kane will leave this next season if you don't get somewhere?
I don't want to say it.
I just got a feeling that you have to get something or get qualified for something or get something this year, or I think he'll leave. I don't know why, because what's he going to be 27, 28 next year?
27, 28.
Yeah.
He's not old. He's at that point where he can make the move to the last club that he wants to be at, and he could walk into any club in England.
Absolutely.
And he could
anywhere in the world, I think, personally.
Anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
He is just that good, and he's clearly something has happened over summer for him to go take the game to the next level with the amount he can now pass and assist, which I've always rated him for. I've always said that he's the best all-around striker you have in the league. It's better. Yeah. Fine, you get Aguero will score your goals, but for someone that you want will walk into any team, it's always going to be Kane. Would he be disappointed? I think with Jose and the money invested in the squad, if we don't win something, I think he would be devastated, and I think that he would. I don't want to say it, but I do think that. I think you're right. I think there is a genuine concern from Levy as well, that people like him, Son, because I think Son could walk into a lot of teams in Europe, especially. A few players are like, why are we still here? We want to go and win something. We want to go do this. It's why Eriksen left, and that whole saga. So I have a feeling Levy thought the same thing and went, right, I need to do something about this because we need to win something this season to keep.
I love the fact you won't even say it though. You don't want to manifest destiny by saying it. Like, no,
I don't want to manifest. I can't. I will be. The idea that either Son or Kane would go would hurt me inside as a thing. Like, many fans have told not from different squads have said the same thing. And I'm just like, no, but I'm not. I don't want to say it. I can't say it. I can't manifest it into existence.
So before I bias Rob's answer by asking you where you think West Ham will finish, Rob, where do you see Spurs finishing this season?
Third. I think third, absolutely. I think if Bale stays fit, he kind of plays on the pitch, not on the golf pitch. I think he will be absolutely Well, I think it's absolutely terrifying front three. You think about it, Son, Bow, and Kane. You can only dream of having a front three like that, really, can't you? Bow's got electric pace, Son's got electric pace, and Kane can do it all. So it's a real good kind of attack. I think the only weakness Spurs may have really is probably maybe a little bit in defence, but not even that bad, really. I think they've got a few players in and stuff like that, but that could be where their only weakness is once in a while because they switch off there around the back. But when I've seen them play this season, they've been pretty tight that way. So I think it's going to be a good season for them personally, and I hate to say it.
So third. Now, not being biased by the fact that Rob has been kind, where do you see West Ham finishing, Sam?
Oh boy. Okay. So
sorry, you're Sam, and you said, "Oh boy."
Oh.
I don't know if you're old enough to get that joke,
boy.
but
I don't think I am. I do not know if your Leicester and Wolves matches were flukes.
Yeah,
right.
That's fair.
And yes, I think you did well against Arsenal as well. So I think that there is clearly something going well. Possibly David Moyes is just great at working from home.
That's what I said.
I was, because of the Diangana and clearly the issues that you have with your board, I fully had you pegged for relegation. I thought you've kind of scraped, and I thought this season was going to be season with the Diangana sale. Clearly the dressing room angry at the board and all that. I thought it would just be an implosion. But then the past three matches, maybe. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It is thrown my prediction. I openly said at the start of the season, I was like, Hammers are going down. They're absolutely going down. They can't do it. The same with the board's issues and the players clearly rebelling. Mark Noble's angry tweet. I was like, it's just not going to work. It'll be Fulham, West Brom, and Hammers. I don't know now because of those last three results. Truly, I don't know.
He was outstanding in the last two games. So it weren't like a fluke. We could have got 7 goals past Wolves.
You looked so good against Wolves. You looked so good against Wolves.
Yeah.
But Villa looked amazing against Liverpool. Are Villa going to win?
Well, so this is the crazy thing, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it so far. So Rob, you had us placed. You said no higher than 15th at the start of the season, and it's the hope that kills you. So I'm guessing you're not going to be changing your prediction just yet.
No, I'm going to kind of stay around that area if I'm honest for the time being. I think I'd like to see what we're going to do next week with transfers and the Championship. We might bring a few extra additions in. But I think, like I've said to you before, Jim, I think we're an injury away from being in trouble a little bit.
This is the thing, I guess, Sam, not being close to West Ham, you've probably not seen how many outgoings we've had versus incomings. And we are an injury or two away from being absolutely fucked, to put it bluntly.
Real in trouble. And the thing is, though, I'm not trying to be horrible to Dawson. We've signed Dawson on loan. He may come in and do well. But if you went down with Watford and, we get Bonga gets injured in international duty with Italy or something like that, and then, Diop's injured, and we got Dawson and Balbuena at the back, that's quite frightening for me. I don't know about you, Jim.
Yeah. What's the situation? And this may sound like a dumb question. What is the situation with Winston Reid? Is he still out on loan?
Yeah, he's actually been playing and he's scored. He's doing quite well at the moment. So
is he potentially a recall option?
I don't think he'll ever come back ever again, by what sounds of it. I think they're looking to get him off the books as quick as possible, which is quite sad because he was a fantastic player for us.
Yeah, I always liked Reid, but that injury was so long term. You've got to wonder. Yeah. Let's look ahead to the weekend then. So, Rob, I'll start with you. Let's try and inject a bit of positivity. How would you expect us to set up against Spurs? Do you think stick to what we've been doing well and just?
I think because I
smash loads of goals in.
I think Arthur will play. I think Arthur's going to play.
I've heard he will play.
Yeah. I think we'll have the exactly same centre backs. I think we'll keep exactly the same team. Yeah,
three at the back again.
Three at the back. We'll put Souček and Rice in the middle. A bit worried about Rice being a bit tired, but is he playing again this week as well?
He played. Yeah, but he played all every minute of every game last season, didn't he, Rice?
Yeah.
So
But
he's at that age, and he's
he
got an
didn't play a lot of
engine.
international duties though international games last year though. He played a few, and
Mm.
he's playing quite a lot of competitive games now for him, and flying to different countries that can knock you out, you know. So I'm a bit
But
worried about that.
he is only 21. I keep
Yeah,
forgetting how
yeah.
young
Oh
he
yeah,
is.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I think we're going to play that. I think we'll play Bowen. I think we'll play Antonio. And I think we'll play Fornals kind of cutting in.
I think Fornals is one that you might look to switch out for this game, but based on his efforts and the amount of effect he's had on matches, I would throw him in. I'd keep him.
I don't think you should ever change a winning side though. You know, especially
because
it's quite
it's
a
Spurs and
defensive
it's going to be
side still, isn't it?
feisty. Because it's going to be feisty, and he's a lighter player, isn't he? He's a smaller player.
Yeah, but Noble always does well against Tottenham as well. He always comes in, but I think it's quite a defensive shape already. We for the back, we've got that two players sitting in the pocket as well. So Fornals can actually play things though. He still gets stuck in Fornals. He kicks people and stuff, but
yeah, you're right. He is.
He's not Anderson for me.
No, he isn't slight, is he? He's a bit of a terrier.
Yeah, and so I think we'll play the same team, but I'm hoping we've got a plan B because Mourinho's he's an old wise fish, and he might go, look, this is how they're played. This is what we're going to do. And if Moyes hasn't got a second plan, it could end very badly for us because we might have to change it up quickly because they might go, this is what we're doing. We're going to go down this side, we're going to take this, and it might. So I'm hoping we've got plan B, but I've not seen a plan B from David Moyes yet. I don't know about you, Jim.
Well, we've not needed one so far, really. Well, actually, mind you, we could have done
Actually,
one
I've not seen
against Everton.
substitution by him yet, have I? This season?
Yeah, we could have done with one against Everton. But if I was a neutral, I'd want to see loads of goals from this game. I'd want to see two teams proper going at it and attacking. And that's the suspicion I have is at least for the first half, that's what we're going to see. Sam, how do you see Spurs lining up?
So I mean, I'm semi-excited in various ways. Obviously, well, I want to say Luis is in goal. However, there is a lovely picture of him handshaking Ronaldo from the international, so that might be fun. You might have Joe Hart. Woo!
Low and to the left. Then. If you're playing Joe Hart, we're winning. Sorry,
shoot down there.
We're winning. That's true. I don't know what Mourinho's plan on our fullbacks are yet. Last game, obviously, we had Oye on the right and Reguilon on the left. Reguilon, I think, is our best signing of the window, by the way.
He's a brilliant player, he is.
Incredible. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to watch him play this season. So if we, that again, don't change it, I don't know if Mourinho will ever play Doherty and Reguilon together because obviously they're both quite attacking, which would then leave the weakness, which is our centre-back pairing. Sanchez, I think, and will have to play because he's the only one pacey enough to deal with with Antonio. Other than that, I don't think Dia is just... Dia is Dia. Eric Dyer, my God. I have a lot of time for him because he is, as he said, he is a leader. He will throw himself in front of the ball to deal with it, but he will make mistakes and he is not a centre-back yet. Yeah. But he will be there to win the aerials. He is good in the air at the back if you watch any of the matches, which people don't really notice because the last time he did that, it got headed onto his hand. So
Yeah.
But I suspect that's it. It'll be Sanchez and Dyer because Mourinho loves Dyer. Midfield, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg got signing. He did really well against Man United. He absolutely bossed that midfield. It was actually quite scary. He'll stay there and just shore up the defence as well because that's what he does and get the balls back. I really want to see Lo Celso and Ndombele play together in slightly more attacking positions, and Ndombele dropping back. I don't think Jose's confident enough to do it yet, so I suspect it will be Winks or Sissoko for one of them, and they'll swap over around half-time or 60 minutes, which is just the standard what we've done. Obviously, Kane up front, if he's not as injured. Who knows what Gareth Southgate's saying, what Jose Mourinho is saying about that. Son, he hasn't played in 2 weeks. He had no international games. He'll be on form. And then we get to the exciting part of right wing. It might be Gareth Bale.
Yes.
And I think it will be... He'll be at least on the bench, at minimum. He's cleared the videos coming out this week from him in training have been really nice to watch because he's just playing and he's in a Spurs kit and it's just nice. And it's making me very happy. He's clearly up for it. Is clearly the injury seems a bit better. Can he do a full 90? Don't know. Can he start? Don't know. Is he at least going to be on the bench? Yes. Will he come on? Yes. Am I going to be devastated I can't be in the stadium to witness his return? So much so, but am I going to be so excited to see it? Yes. It's the most exciting thing about this match for me. The result is going to be something.
The sadist in my head is just not replaying because it hasn't happened, but it's just playing this piece of imaginary footage where Arthur Masuaku puts in a really hard challenge and takes away well. This is just what's going through my head.
He doesn't mind a challenge either, Arthur, does he?
No, he doesn't. This is the thing, he doesn't. And he's fast and he's tricksy. And if he comes up against someone who's fast and tricksy...
And he's been good.
I don't know
how he's still ever seen West Ham do was against Spurs, wasn't it? We did that little flick thing.
Got the one over his own head.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know he'd done it.
Just
some kind of magic.
He's one of those players you think, why are you playing in defense, or why are you touted as a defender? Because if you just played on the wing as a winger only, you'd have just much better stats, much better everything. Because as a winger, like he dances past players. The things he can do with his feet, the runs he can do, his defending is just appalling. Hence why I'm imagining this strong tackle going through my head.
I think that's like part, like, he's had a good, like, Masuaku, he's had a really good start to the season. Bizarrely, I'm thinking about getting a West Ham defender into my fantasy football team in Masuaku. I know, I can't believe it. But the fact that he's had such a good start and played really well in those two games, and then is about to face Gareth Bale on the same side, that's just a recipe for a really, really nice battle to watch as a neutral. Even as a fan, I'm excited to watch it. But as a neutral,
unless he puts in
so fun.
Unless he puts Bale out. So forgetting what I've just said about Masuaku tackling Bale, which player do you see being dangerous for? Well, who do you see the biggest threat towards Spurs from a West Ham perspective? Who do you fear?
I mean, Antonio. I have this image of Antonio ending up against Dyer 1-on-1 and it just going so badly for us, like so badly. He's such a strong player, Antonio. He can run, he can go past, and he can shoot, and he'll grab at shots and he'll snatch at shots. And then Dyer, he'll throw the ball in front of it, but one mistake, one misfit, one clever thing that Antonio can do, I just think could just end badly for us. I think you look at Southampton and United scored where he obviously smashed and scored loads. They were free-flowing, open-playing teams. You won't be. You'll defend like quite strongly. You will be quite compact. If your defence continues that and is ran and can play that against Rice, we're going to struggle to create chances. We always struggle to create chances against low-block teams. So it could be. I want it high-scoring for the fun of it. Mostly Spurs goals, ideally, but I could also just see it being a very, very touchy match. Very touchy.
If I was a Spurs fan, my mental image of Antonio would be that, that kind of Gangnam style hopping type of thing he did.
He's so unnaturally strong though, isn't he, Antonio?
He's so athletic.
Yeah,
he's athletic, is what he is. It's just mad. Sorry, Rob.
It's because even when he comes up against big, strong defenders, he just knocks them flying. Like some of the best defenders, like Harry Maguire, last season, he just knocked him everywhere. It was like. He's just
the juggernaut.
Strong. Huh?
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. Yeah. Oh, I know you just say it.
I'm the juggernaut, bitch. Right. So, Rob, from a West Ham perspective, who's your biggest fear for this match?
I think it's going to be Son. I just think. I think we're going to try and double up on. We've got to try and double up on Swan because if we've got Bow and we've got Son, we're going to try and stop again down the wings.
Son always seems to score against us, actually.
Yeah, because he's so bloody fast. And at the time, I think last time we play Zabaleta against him or something. Well, even my nan's from Zabaleta. But we've got the new chap at right back, and I think we're double up on him. The problem is if you double up on someone that's on and Bow's playing or someone similar speed to Bow, then you can't really double up on that person as well. It leaves a hole in the middle.
again, though, Kufal's not one who's scared of a tackle, is he?
No,
I think he'll let him know he's there quite early.
He's very, very good positionally as well. But one thing I think Tottenham kind of forgetting as well, we've got like a 6'5" midfielder in Souček.
God,
And he's a
bloody Souček.
Yeah, and he's an absolute destroyer, and that's why I think we've been winning a lot of games. People can't get past him because he wins absolutely everything in the middle of in the air, everything because he's too bloody big. He's bigger than most centre backs.
If you get a set piece down and delivered well into the box, and it's Dyer versus Souček wins that.
Yeah,
over Dyer. Imagine.
And also, you think about it as well. We got Bong is probably the best person we've got on the head. He's fantastic at his head, 6'3". But if Diop plays, what's Diop? 6'4", 6'5"? Diop's a big chap as well, and he loves the goal.
Do you know what? I completely forgot about Diop being isolating because we've not really missed him, and he didn't have a great didn't have a great season last.
I don't think he'll go into the team though. But then you got Rice. Rice is 6'1".
Big team.
Yeah, we've got a big we've got big lads in the team, and that's what I think. We'll let people destroying in the middle, trying to destroy and break up the play in the middle, and we let the people in the wings try and attack. But I think it's going to be a very tasty game because Spurs are going to be very, positive from their last game. West Ham are going to be very positive last game. There's two teams there that think they can win it, and that just leads to a good game for me. I think personally. A very hard game to predict, though, as well.
Well, funny you should mention that because the next thing I have to ask is final questions. Rob, start with you. Who's your first goal scorer, and what do you see the final scoreline being?
This is so difficult because how long has it been since we've won 2 games on the trot? Had to win 3 games on the trot. So I'm actually going to go for us to win 2-1.
And I bet if you look up the stats somewhere, the last time we won 3 games in a row was probably in the 1980s or something. So you're going to.
I'm a very negative person when it comes to.
You're a very negative person, and it's the hope that kills you. So I don't know what you're doing to yourself here. So sorry, 2-1, and who scores first? Souček.
Yeah, I think as Sam said, a set piece. I think we're gonna go heavy on the set pieces. I think we're gonna crowd. Depending on the goalkeeper position, I think we're going to crowd the middle of the box, and I think what we're going to do is have to kind of him running in late and do what he does best. He's such a powerhouse, and I think that's probably one of the ways we're going to get our goals against in this game. So
I've got this mental image or mental comparison of Souček being, hammer throwing at the Olympics. Like he's like the hammer that someone throws into the box, and it just connects with a cross, and gosh.
He's such a big man. It's frightening.
He is, but he also looks like such a kind guy. But then when he's playing, he's like so doubly hard, and not in an aggro way, just in a no nonsense kind of very stoic. I'm here to do a job. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Well.
I think he should be wearing a cloak, and you should be doing a side quest of him off a computer game.
What?
To find hidden treasure. He's just got big men, like big fella, big chap.
Right. Okay, Sam. First goal scorer and scoreline for this weekend's match.
I'm going to agree with the first goal scorer being Souček. I could see you going front first. I think we'll then kick back. 3-2 Spurs.
3-2.
And maybe I'm probably going. Trying to hark back to the what match was it? 2009 Spurs West Ham match, which was.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That one.
Maybe
I'm just hoping that there's like a bit of a repeat of that at the end.
Was that Robert Green in goal? Was trying to get it top corner? I was like.
Yeah.
How disappointed are both of you guys going to be if it turns out to be 0-0?
Devastated.
I'll be very happy.
I'll be well. But yeah, I'd say.
I'm gonna. Oh God! If I predict us to score high, I reckon fate will just try and screw me over and make me look like a mug. So I'm gonna go for 1-1.
Ooh.
I'm going to go for 1-1 in the hope that I'm just very wrong. Do I want it to be 1-1? No. But sometimes you just think like when games are massively overhyped, they're just almost set up to disappoint. So
I
I'm
honestly
saying
thought you would say 5-5. You said it'd be a high-scoring game. I was just waiting for the 5-5.
This is me playing the odds. You guys have gone high, so I'm going low. Awesome. No, thanks very much for joining us, Sam. It's been really cool talking to you. Rob, pleasure as always. And I usually say to teams, good luck for the rest of the season, but just not for this weekend. But fuck you, Spurs. So, ta-da.
Bye. Hope you get relegated. Bye.
That's a way to end. That's an appropriate way to end this one. No, thanks so much, Sam. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
Cheers, Rob. And for everyone watching or listening on the podcast, thanks very much for joining us. Like, subscribe, recommend to your friends, all the rest of it. And yeah, have a fantastic weekend. Come on, your wines.